Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So today I'm going to have you consider to give yourself permission. Now, I recorded a Facebook video about this earlier this morning as I record this video, and how my husband and I had a date night last night, as we do every single week, and we were up a little bit later. And so I normally wake up 4:30, 5:30, somewhere within that range, and start my day early. And last night when I went to bed, I actually set my alarm for 6, which is late for me. I know that might sound insane if you're not an early morning person. And I actually ended up not getting up till about 6:45 once one of my kids woke up. In the past, I would have been like, oh my God, I slept in. Oh, now I feel stressed about it. I beat myself up, take out all my hammers, and tell all sorts of stories. And today, I gave myself permission to get some extra sleep, to get some extra rest. Because it's what my body needs. Because it's Saturday today as I record this podcast episode, because we moved actually not even 3 weeks ago, and we've dealt with moving our family to another province, selling most of our stuff, hopping in the car for 2 days to drive to Victoria, here on an island, Vancouver Island, take a ferry to get here. We also sold one of our vehicles. My mother-in-law passed away 2 days after we moved in. We've had a lot of stuff to deal with. So I'm going to give myself permission to just be. And this last week, too, has been a lot more back into work mode. And so there's been a lot of stuff we've tried to stuff in with caring for kids and not having our oldest son in school yet and our youngest son, Kai, in full-time daycare. So I'm giving myself permission to relax a little bit more over this weekend. Do we have stuff to do on the to-do list? You better fucking believe it. Including me recording these podcast episodes in advance, because in a couple days I fly out to Laguna Beach for 4.5 days to go support my coach Satema in his live event. So there's a lot of stuff going on in our lives right now. But give yourself permission and maybe understand that things don't have to be the shoulds that you think it should. I should do this. I should do that. I shouldn't do this. This is what's expected of me. I really must do these things. Listen, you can have, outcomes you want and results you want to achieve and goals and, really know clearly your why for those things and then do the work to get those things. But there's going to be times in your life where you just have to give yourself permission for something different. It can maybe even give yourself permission to doing something that you don't think is possible. Give yourself permission to dream big. Recording this podcast episode right now on a Saturday. My oldest boy Tyson has watched a little bit of TV. We just come from the beach. It's a really hot day, so we came back to the house to cool down. The youngest son, Kai, has fell asleep. I'm literally recording this podcast episode, walking around the front of my house, past our lovely pond and fountain that we have, and checking in on Kai every once in a while, going, is he still okay? Because he fell asleep in his car sleep. And if you're a parent, you know that you don't wake a sleeping child, especially a 3-year-old that had a tantrum earlier today. So give yourself permission today. So here's your more tip for today. What is the thing that you're either having a challenge with in life right now? Maybe it's you've been really pushing for something hard and you just feel exhausted. And yet the story that you're telling yourself is, I can't stop. I can't slow down. What will happen? People depend on me. Or is there something that you're just really wanting to achieve? That there's something that's like, man, I just feel called to this. I feel called to something bigger. Now, I felt called to something bigger for a lot of my adult life, but I squashed it. I squashed it literally up until about a year ago when I launched this podcast, which is why it's called Women Wanting More. because that is also me. And I know there are others like you, sister, and like others that are listening all around the world that feel called to something bigger. I gave myself permission to play life big. Because, for people that know me well, they might take a look at how I've been living my life up until a year ago. Man, what do you mean, Karen? You've been playing big. No, I know what I'm capable of, and I've actually been playing quite small. For me, I've been staying kind of safe, right? Playing in the shadows. For a lot of other people, it might look like something, bigger than what it was, or it would kind of appear a certain way on the outside, but I knew deep down inside that I was called for something much bigger. To coach women, to help them see what they are unable to see, to help them get the things that they want within their life, to live it and find it in myself first, and to be able to teach and coach from that experience. I gave myself permission. So what is that thing that you either want to do or maybe don't want to do? Give yourself permission to do the thing that you need to do, that you want to do, that you feel called to do. And I want you to journal that down and see what insights come up from that. So if you don't already subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter, you need to head over right now to drkarenosborn.com/newsletter. That's drkerenosborn.com/newsletter. I'm going to send you all through these episodes 3 times a week with all the show notes, links, and resources. And then every single day, I will be mailing you some type of inspiration, motivation, ass-kicking. You're going to hear about the upcoming master classes. As I record this episode, I just had one on how to reconnect with your husband without years of therapy. I may be doing this webinar again, so if you don't get on the newsletter list, you will not know when that'll be. You won't get the invite for it. So go ahead and make sure to enter in your name and email, drkarenosborn.com/newsletter, and I will get you hooked up on all of that today and get all the VIP access to everything Women Wanting More, including my live event, which is coming up and is by application only. Link will be in the show notes. In Victoria, BC, Canada, where I now live, in 8 weeks, October 17th to 19th. So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more and having it all is one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.